Hi, I'm a girl who loves Supergirl, and I'm here to give you a review and Easter eggs of the Supergirl Flash crossover, episode 18, World's Finest! Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson, a girl who loves Supergirl, and we're here to talk about a very special event today. What?
I just ran in from the multiverse. Hi, I'm Jason M., and a boy who also loves Supergirl. And if you don't know, if you're coming over from the DC Fans channel, we did some Supergirl Flash crossover Easter eggs, and you can check that video out right here. But don't go away, we got more. And what more is that, Ashley?
Well, we got some goods, and we got some bads, and we got some theories, and we got some ratings.
Let's do it.
The first good thing is a really obvious thing. It was all of the scenes with the Flash and Supergirl. Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin were on point, and they were so much fun to watch throughout the entire episode.
I want to throw it out there that I think that this might be Grant Gustin's best performance as the Flash. Because he was the elder statesman of the superhero compared. You know, and I love the moment where like she flies up into the sky and the clothes fall on top of him. Yeah, and he gave advice to her. Like it just seemed like he was like, I've been around the block and let me show you how to do this, younger superhero. And
it was nice to see Kara really take those to heart, and you got to see her grow as Supergirl, which is a really just a nice kind of cool moment.
Also, this was by far Wynn's best episode.
Yes. Oh my God. More of this Wynn working in the DEO. He was on point. He worked really well with Barry, which I think is interesting because they kind of do the same thing.
He knew what the multiverse is.
Yes.
He knew about force powers. He was all about like building the machine to stop Livewire.
He loved all the names of the superheroes.
I feel you could take Wynn, pluck him out of the show, throw him in Star Labs, and he would fit in and we would not even notice a difference.
I'd watch that.
I would watch the heck out of that. Which goes back to the thing that you've said in previous weeks, that he should totally be in the DEO making machines to stop the people.
Yeah, he needs functionality, and he really got that in this episode.
What else did you like?
Well, the thing that I really liked was the final moment had a lot of heart when the firefighters come in, and they're the ones who ultimately save the day and help Supergirl and Flash. It's really nice to see these super heroic, larger-than-life characters pay homage and respect to real-world heroes. I thought it was a really touching moment.
It was a good moment when the firefighters held up their hand to Kara, and we got a repeat of the Superman moment from the pilot.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You've helped us, Supergirl. Let us help you." I also liked Cat Grant knowing who Barry was, which to me goes to the point of how long do we think they can stretch out Cat Grant not figuring it out again?
I think she knows.
Okay, you think she knows?
I think she's playing dumb. I really do.
All right, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Is there any other superhero from the CW that you'd love to see interact with Kara?
Oh, I would actually really, really love to see Sarah Lance, White Canary, interact with her.
Interesting.
Because she is like the hardcore version of what Kara is, and I would love to see if they could do, again, kind of the teaching thing where they would balance each other out. And because she is mostly non-superpowered, it'd be an interesting kind of Superman-Batman dynamic.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, in fairness, it's time to talk about the bad in this episode of Supergirl.
And there wasn't much.
There wasn't much. Like, my biggest complaint is that there wasn't more Kara and Barry. I understand that you have a formula and you have beats that you need to hit, but I just wanted more of them being awesome together.
Well, I have to make a counterpoint, because the thing that I didn't like is the thing that I know that they had to do. When you bring in two heroes, you have to have at least two villains, or else it doesn't make sense. So I understand why they needed Livewire and Silver Banshee. The parts that didn't work for me was, is her name Savannah?
Siobhan Smythe.
There, thank you, her. I didn't like the fact that there was really no explanation for why she just decided to completely paint her face white and get a white wig.
And it's a great look, but there was
in the
comics, but there was no and she had fake cheekbones on too, which also looked really weird.
Well, yeah, and then they let her have a scene with Wynn so for me it didn't really, I like Silver Banshee in the comics. I like her a lot. I kind of wish they would have just left her looking normal and maybe just had her get a really cool leather coat.
Yeah,
you know, instead of doing the full face paint, because her having that scene with Wynn just didn't really work.
Would you have rather seen her with a mask that had the same kind of markings?
Sure. Yes.
Like a Cheshire kind of mask?
You know, yes. And you want to know why? Because Livewire doesn't wear a mask, so she would have been the counterpart for Kara. And if you would have made Silver Banshee have a mask, she would have been the counterpoint for Barry. So yes, I would have rather had her a mask.
All right, so there you go. Not too much bad this week. Now it is time for our crazy theory of the week. Now mine, I think, could actually happen. I bet that we're going to see more multiverse stuff as the seasons go along, because I think this one is going to be really well received. And I think you're going to get Win and you're going to get Cisco Ramon vibe as inter-multiverse pen pals. And they are going to be talking to each other. And they're going to be the impetus and the planning for why we get people crossing over from Earth, whatever Kara's on, to Earth 1 or Barry is.
Nice.
That's my theory.
I'm going to pitch another crossover as well that I think is going to be the crossover next year, which could be titled Brave and the Bold. I don't know whether the Arrow Flash crossover was titled that before, but let's just take it. Let's just say Brave and the Bold, or Quiver and Steel.
Ooh.
And this is Oliver Queen coming to National City, getting lost in the multiverse. And I think that Oliver Queen, if you know anything on Arrow right now, he is now a single bachelor, and he is going to hit on Kara Danvers, and
she's gonna melt in front of him.
Yep. And he's gonna call Cat Grant a fat cat. There you go. That's my crazy theory.
Time for our ratings on this week's episode. Jason, as our guest, why don't you go first?
Well, I honestly want to give this a 4.5 out of 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. But you know what? I enjoyed the Flash moments and Supergirl moments so good and best.
So best.
Yes, so best. That's a new phrase in the multiverse on whatever Earth Supergirl exists in.
Copyright girl.
I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I think that the good parts of this episode washed over the bad parts of the episode, and seeing Flash and Supergirl together was so good that I just don't care about the rest of it. That 5 out of 5, my favorite episode of Supergirl.
That's interesting because I also like this episode so best that I was going to give it a solid 5 Kryptonian crystals out of a possible 5.
So through the multiverse, we're giving this a 10.
Woo!
Out of 5.
But Earth 10 is the evil Earth. It was so good, guys. It was so good. Overall, we thought that this was an amazing episode of Supergirl. I would hazard that this is the best episode of Supergirl to air. So the crossover, the giant event, I think clearly worked the best here.
And I asked this question to you earlier, but I want to ask everybody out there, because I want to see in the comments, what CW character do you want to see crossover on Supergirl? Tell me the pairings. Do you want to see Cisco and Win? Do you want to see Oliver and Kara? Do you want to see Firestorm Martin Stein and Cat Grant? Who do you want to see? Tell us in the comments right there, because Martin Stein kind of ties into something that I do on this channel.
That's amazing. Jason does a Legends of Tomorrow recap show that you can see every Thursday right here on Jawiin. If you want to support that and Geek History Lesson, head on over to patreon.com/Jawiin, Jawiin, and help us keep the Kryptonian crystals lit. Jason, where can people find you on the internet?
Of course, right here on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe. And then, Ashley, why don't you close us on out?
Well, thank you so much for watching. I have been Ashley Victoria Robinson, your girl on Supergirl. Be safe and make good choices.